Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today I am so excited to be talking about Beautylish's gift card event. So with the Beautylish gift card event, this event lasts for 3 days, so it's gonna last from today, October the 20th, to October 23rd, and you will get a $20 gift card for every $100 that you spend. So it's a really great time to stock up on some favorites, but also maybe indulge on some splurges that you've had your eye on, and then kind of get that money in return. So stay tuned for my recommendations for the gift card event. I'll be showing you how I do this look on my face and all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And let's get right into this video. So first I have to thank Beautylish for reaching out to me and wanting to work with me on this video. They sent me some products that I wanted to actually try, and then some products that I'm really excited about to share with you. So I first have to tell them thank you so much for offering me this opportunity and gifting me some of these products that I will be sharing with you today. So, like I said, this is a great time to stock up on some of your favorites, but also maybe stock up on some splurges, because for every $100 that you spend, you get a $20 gift card. And something that I really do like about Beautylish is that you get that gift card in a reasonable amount of time. It's not one of those things where you spend your money and then like 5 months later or even 3 months later you get the gift card. Like, you get the gift card within a couple of weeks of the gift card event closing. So very excited about that, because then you can use that gift card to buy some other things. Of course, with this holiday season coming up, we're going to be doing all this spending. So first I want to start off talking about a couple of skincare products. So if you are not aware, I love La Mer. That kind of rhymed. Aware, La Mer. And so there's a couple of things from La Mer that I have really come to love, that I have repurchased myself, have been gifted over and over again. Like, these are products that if I ever have an opportunity to have my hands on them, I'm gonna have them. So the first is going to be the La Mer treatment lotion. So I have tried this and used this like multiple times over the past couple of years, and they actually reformulated the product. So this is like a liquid energy that is a fast absorbing treatment that delivers an instant rush of hydration to visibly soften, nourish, and improve texture and even tone. A radiant glow lights up from within. And so I like to use this after I wash my face. I will apply it with my hand. You can apply it with a cotton pad, but to not waste product and to really get the majority of the product in my skin, I just use it, I pour it in the palm of my hand and then press it onto the skin. And it is very fast absorbing. It doesn't have any type of residue or anything like that. And it really works well with a lot of other of my skincare products. So like I said, I've been using this for like on and off a couple of years. This is just kind of how it looks like. It's got a watery like texture, but it's not as thin as water, if that makes sense. And so as you can see, it's just a really beautiful product that I like to use when I just feel like my skin needs a little bit more hydration. So I will use this day and night. And then sometimes I would just use this at night. It just depends on like what I feel my skin needs, the time of the year. Like, as the weather is cooling, this is the time of year where I would use this morning and evening, because I know my skin needs more hydration. So I think this is a beautiful product. I hadn't opened it up yet because I have like a deluxe sample size upstairs in my bathroom that I'm still finishing up. But I was like, yes, I'm about to run out. This is a product that I definitely want. So I love it. And then the other product, I have used this one on and off for about 3 years now. This is my second full size of the product, and it is a splurge. It is a splurge that like I will always invest in. The eye concentrate. So this was the first eye cream that I used, and I was like, oh, this is why people use eye cream. It is so hydrating under my eyes. The skin right under my eyes is the most driest skin on my face. And so if something is too heavy, if a product is too dry, I can always tell by how it looks under my eyes. It just makes it look weighted down. I see more creases and wrinkles and, you know, all the things that we don't want to see. This particular eye cream, I love it so much because I feel like it helps to plump that area, so it's going to reduce fine lines and wrinkles because of that plumping effect. And it doesn't have like an actual plumping effect property in it per se, but I really feel like it hydrates the skin, and so that extra hydration helps to plump the skin. And then of course that's going to help to reduce the look of the fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes. It also soothes my eyes very well as well. So for instance, let's say I'm using a lot of makeup in a week, or I'm doing a lot of eye looks in a short amount of time, and my eyes get very irritated and just dry from the constant, you know, powdering, taking off. This is going to just help to soothe that irritation. Once again, plump the under eye area. And I mean, it just absorbs so beautifully into the skin. I also love that the formula is not too thick and it's also not too thin. So I feel like it does help to really plump that area. So this is what it looks like on the cap, and then this is what it looks like in the actual tube. And I'll put some on the back of my hand just so you can see how the formula looks. And it's just really beautiful. Very fast absorbing as well into the skin. And it plays well with any makeup, you know, any skincare product. I don't have to worry about the eye products like pilling because of the formula not agreeing with other formulations of skincare that I use. So those are the two that I'm like, if you try anything from them, oh, how dare I forget Creme de la Mer. And I actually have that upstairs in the bathroom. I don't feel like going up there and getting it, but I purchased that, I think I purchased that cream earlier in the year. You can also get it on Beautylish's website. Those three products, like, I feel like are a must try. The Creme de la Mer, oh my goodness, that moisturizer is it for me, especially at night or in the cooler months, because it's so hydrating. It is a thicker moisturizer, but I like it because it really does help to hydrate my skin. It doesn't irritate my skin. And for me, because I have more normal skin, it's not too dry for me to also wear during the day. So if I feel like my skin is still kind of dry in the morning, I'll go in with that cream to really help to hydrate the skin. So those three products from La Mer, I'm like, yes, they are investments, but they are tried and true products for me, and I will always purchase them or request them if I have the opportunity to, because I love, love, love them. So those are the skincare products that I wanted to reference. Now let's get into the makeup. So first I went in with Danessa Myricks. Now you're gonna hear a lot of Danessa Myricks in this video, not everything, but a lot. First of all, that's a brand that's sold at Beautylish, and I love that Beautylish carries almost all of her products. So went in with her Yummy Glow Serum. This is such a beautiful hydrating product. If you're not new here, you've heard of this product time and time again. So I wanted to go in with this product because I really love how it helps to add extra hydration to my skin, leaves a beautiful, beautiful glow, but it's not going to leave my skin feeling greasy or anything like that. This glow serum, one of the things that I actually love about it is that it really does help to balance the pH of your skin and really give it the hydration that it needs. So back in the spring and summer, this was my daily moisturizer. Now that the months are getting cooler, I go in with another moisturizer, but this is a beautiful kind of priming moisturizer that I like to add to my skin. I wanted to share with you all a foundation that I don't talk too much about on my channel, but I love, love, love it in real life. And so it's the RCMA Makeup Palette. So this is my second palette of this, and the shade that I got is the Shinto series. So what I love about this, of course the formulation, but I also love that it's like your foundation, bronzer, concealer, all in one. So for me, for today, I went in with this shade for my all over foundation shade, which depending on the time of year, I'll either go in with this shade for all over my face or this shade for all over my face. So went in with this shade, of course, because if you're not new here, you probably already know what I'm gonna say. I had to go in with Danessa Myricks Bone Powder. So went in with the universal shade because at this point in my life, this bone powder is mixed with pretty much every foundation that I have, unless I need to actually show the foundation and how it's looking on its own. So mix these two together. Pretty much applied this shade to the perimeter of my face because it is a little deeper. And as I was applying it, I was like, I probably probably should have went in with this shade, but it's okay. It's okay. But blended it into the skin, and the formulation of this foundation is so amazing. It's a lot of makeup artists' favorite for a plethora of reasons. It's very long lasting. I mean, this is gonna be on your face from literally before the sun gets up until well after the sun goes down. This is a cream formulation, but it's not heavy on the skin. It doesn't get oily as the day goes on. It does get a little dewy as the day goes on. So if you are someone who has oilier skin, I would say, you know, mix it with the balm powder or set it with your favorite setting powder, and it does last beautifully. And I also like that it does help to conceal pores. It's just a beautifully formulated product. So then I went in with this shade for my concealer. I didn't mix it with the balm powder because that area under my eye, like I said, tends to be more dry. And right now my skin is feeling quite dry. So I didn't go in with the balm powder. I wanted to just go in with the creaminess of its own. But I will say, if you get this palette or actually buy it individually, because you can purchase the individual shades, you don't have to just purchase these shades in a palette. Warm it up with your fingers. So what I did was, I did put the product on a palette, and then I just took my finger and warmed the product up and then applied it onto the face that way. And it really does help the foundation to really mesh into the skin better. I have like taken my brush or sponge and directly put it into the pan and then applied it onto the face. That works too, but it just gives you more of a seamless blend once you warm the product up. So I've traveled with this before. If I am like my lightest, if like, you know, all of my tan from the summertime does fade away, I can also go in with this shade right here and use it as a very light bronze to the skin. So I'll just take a quick swatch of the shade so you can see what it looks like. And I actually just went ahead and swatched all of the shades. So here we have the lightest shade. I didn't go in order. So this is the lightest shade. This is the second to the lightest shade. This is the deeper shade right here. This is the shade that I use today all over the face. And then this is the shade that I can use all over my face if I'm not tan or anything like that. So as you can see, it's a really beautiful face palette. And I also like that depending on your complexion, what you might be looking for, you can of course mix these shades together to just get the perfect balance and dimension that you want for your face. So they have multiple shades of these palettes, but you can also buy the individual shade if you want to, and that works as well. And then one last point, just so that you know, if you wanted to purchase these individually, this is going to be Shinto 1, Shinto 2, Shinto 3, 4, and then 5. Just so, you know, if you were looking to purchase it individually. But I love this. Like I said, it's so handy, compact, easy to travel with, and the formula is truly, truly beautiful. So then after applying that on my face, I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Brightening Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And so I have both shades, and I've done a review on both of these shades, so I will link that video if you'd like to see that here. But I have loved this particular shade here in Fair Medium. So this is the shade that I use all the time, like all the time. And I will say, this is not the best setting powder in my opinion. I don't think this holds your concealer in place as long as the her OG Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Still a favorite of mine. If you are interested, I wear shade medium too. But this one I have been loving to use to actually apply over my setting powder. So I love how it brightens the under eye area without looking like too stark, especially with the way that this shade looks. I know I initially thought like this is gonna be like white on my skin, and it's not. It blends really beautiful into the skin. So I used this today under the eyes and down my T-zone to brighten the face. And then you'll see later on in the demonstration that I took this shade and used it along this lower portion of my face because I wanted to just brighten the skin right along here to just give a little bit more of a brightened effect between the lower portion of my face and where my bronzer contour is. And this shade I've been reaching for recently more because I was like, I don't use it, but it is a beautiful shade. This does work on deeper skin. So I did this young lady's makeup. I'll insert a picture of her. I did this young lady's makeup a couple of weeks ago, and I used this under her eye and down her T-zone to brighten her skin, and it looks beautiful on deeper skin tones, but it also works well for my complexion on the perimeter of my face. So I think these are really great. Like I said, for me, I think they work best as brightening powders. Don't use them as your setting powder. You might not be as satisfied with them for that reason, but as brighteners on top of your setting powders, I think they work so beautifully. After that, I went in with another Danessa product, the Balm Contour. This is shade medium 3, nothing new to my channel, but I've just fallen back in love with this to bronze and contour the face. So went in with this shade. I mean, it blends seamlessly onto the skin, and I love this formulation because it is not picky. You can apply this on unpowdered skin, you can apply this on powdered skin, and it blends effortlessly. You never have to worry about using too much, because if you feel like you use too much, just keep blending, just keep blending. Like, you just blend and eventually will get to where you want it to be. It's just beautiful. And she recently came out with, I want to say, 1 or 2 additional shades. So if you felt like the Balm Contour didn't have a shade for you that was light enough, she has come out with a couple of other shades to really help to diversify the range of the Balm Contour. But this formulation is stunning. Highly recommend this product. Hourglass and these Unlocked Ambient palettes, stunning, okay? Stunning. So on Beautylish, they have all 3 palettes. I love the Tiger palette the most. It works the best for my complexion. So I went in with this shade here to just add it as not a bronzer topper, but like to give a dimension to my blush. It's so, so beautiful. And I wasn't sure what blush I wanted to use, so I was like, let me stop here because let me do my eyes first, figure out how this eye look is going, and then I can figure out what blush shade. But I recommend all 3 palettes. I've done a review on all 3 palettes as well, so I'll link that for you. Eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes to recommend for you. The one that I use today is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. Y'all, I know I didn't do a video on this palette, and I do apologize. I just never got around to doing it. But I have shown you tutorials. I've done a couple of tutorials, I think, on Instagram. But I wanted to use this palette today because it is beautiful. So I love this palette. I have traveled with this palette very recently, multiple times. It's just, I want to say that this is like a beautiful everyday palette with like some pizzazz, because you can do such different looks with this palette. I love the color story, the layout. I like that there's a mixture of cooler tones and warmer tones in this palette. It has like everything that you might need for pretty much any type of look. And what's even better is the formulation of every one of these shades is beautiful. There is not one dud shade in this palette. There's not one shade in here that I used and I was like, oh, I thought this was gonna come off like this, or I thought the formulation was gonna be like, no. Every shade in this palette is amazing. So for this eye look, I used almost all of the mattes. The mattes are beautiful. Some of the best mattes that I think she has created thus far. And I love this black shade. It's so pigmented. I mean, it gives you what I want, but depending on what brush I use, I can get a really intense black, like as intense as my liner, or I can like have a more diffused type of just light smoky look. It is stunning. Same with this shade right here, like this brownish, almost burgundy type shade, and then also this shade here, just stunning. So use these mattes in the palette right here to give me dimension, to smoke out the look. And then I went in with this matte here to kind of like fade the black shade a little bit and give me some shadow in the transition and crease area of the eye, but I didn't want anything too intense. So I went in with this shade right here and used that to just blend the perimeter of the eye look together. And I also used the shade to blend out the lower lash line, and I loved it. And so at first I was like, let's just go with an all matte look. And then I was like, no, I want a little something. So I took this shade right here, so stunning, and just like sprinkled. That's how I feel like the shimmer looks. I just sprinkled it along the middle of the eye, and then I went in with this shade right here to add a little bit more to the inner corner. And I was like, this, Y'all, I almost want to say if you don't get anything from the Beautylish gift card event, you want to get this palette. If you don't have it, I'm telling you, it is stunning, okay? It is a surefire must-have, okay? I don't say that a lot, but this palette is beautiful. Rest of my eye look, I went in with her cheek palette. So I will say I haven't reached for this cheek palette a lot, but I do like it. I feel like this is Natasha's dream collection. So this blush shade is really beautiful. And after I finished my eye look, I was like, I want a more like neutral toned down blush. And so I reached for this one, added it to more so the apples of my cheek, and it's just a beautiful neutral type of blush. This obviously is not gonna work for complexions that are honestly really any much deeper for me because it doesn't have a lot of intensity to it in terms of its richness. It is a beautiful shade, it is buildable, but it also is a cooler tone against my complexion. So this is not gonna be for everyone, but I'm not gonna hold that against Natasha because she said it's my dream collection. So it's what she likes. But I do like it, I can wear it, but this highlighter is stunning. The cream highlighter I haven't used too much either. It is beautiful, I like it, but I do reach for this highlighter more over the cream highlighter. So I wanted to use this highlighter just for the inner corner, and then I also used it for my brow bone highlight, and I loved how this came together. So I do recommend the face palette, the cheek palette, but I am gonna say that is going to be reserved for complexions that are about my shade or lighter. The other eyeshadow palette that I wanna recommend that is another surefire you must have, because this one won't be around forever. And if you miss out on this one, I don't tell you. Danessa Myricks Lightworks 4 palette. Now I know this is sold out on her website, I think. It might be sold out at Sephora, but it is still in stock at Beautylish. So get your hands on it, guys. She is one to have. Now, if you're somebody that's like, girl, I don't do color at all, and I don't even like color, okay, this is not for you then. But if you like a little color, if you think you might want it, go and get it. I love this palette. I thought Lightworks 3 was like the pinnacle of eyeshadow palettes. Lightworks 4 has topped that. And not saying Lightworks 3 is not amazing. I still reach for that palette, and as a matter of fact, I will also recommend the Experience palette because I know that that is selling out at other places, but it's still available at Beautylish. Still love this palette, still highly recommend it. Like all three of these palettes I highly recommend. I've done multiple looks with this palette. The formulation is just amazing. Amazing. Don't miss out on this one, as well as the Experience palette. She has said multiple times these are limited edition. I'm not bringing them back, and if you know Danessa, she ain't bringing stuff back when she says it's out of stock. So that's what I'm saying. Don't miss out on it if you think you want it. So those three palettes I highly recommend from Beautylish. They are amazing. Then on to the other face palettes that I want to recommend. The Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. So Beautylish did send me both of these, and I love them, okay? Done a review on them, and so for today's look, I wanted to go in with this highlighter shade here. Both of the palettes work really great against my complexion, and so if you're around my complexion, you really can't go wrong with either one. You just gotta figure out which one you might like, or hey, pick up both if you think you might want both. So loved this highlighter. I used that on the high points of my face and also down my T-zone. Out of the two though, I have been reaching for the one in the medium deep shade. This one is just stunning. Like, I love the one in fair to medium, but I love this medium deep one. All of the shades are stunning. The formula is really beautiful. I think for the blush shades, I would say based on the formula, go either in with a dense synthetic brush or a dense natural haired brush. I like to use, for these two shades, I really love to use the Sonia G Buffer Pro brush. Beautylish did send this one to me because I didn't have this brush, and I was like, oh, I can't find my other Sonia G Buffer brush it's somewhere around here, but I love, love, love that one. So I wanted to try her Face Pro brush. So I love going in with this brush with these two shades because they can get very pigmented. So I like to just stamp the blush shade on and blend as I'm applying it. And this brush applies these shades really beautifully. So like I said, I would go in with either a denser synthetic brush or a denser natural haired brush to pick up the product and blend it out. And then these highlighter shades, oh, they are stunning. Synthetic, natural hair, they work beautiful. Today I applied the highlighter with the My Kitco. This is the My Ultra Multi Brush. This is the 1.7 brush. I have fallen in love with My Kitco brushes, and I've got a good amount of them. So I requested this one from Beautylish. And I love the size and shape of the brush hairs. I love that it's got kind of a dome shape and that it is made with some tapered hairs. These are synthetic brushes, or this one is. And I love that it just fits right along here beautifully, blends the product out. Like these face palettes, these brushes are all beautiful. Eyeliner. So Danessa Myricks, her Infinite Chrome pencils, like nobody talks about these, and these are so beautiful, richly pigmented. They've got such a multi-dimensional effect on the eyes, and I love them. So I requested from Beautylish the shade, I think it's pronounced Chariot. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's so beautiful. So this is the shade, it's like a purple iridescent almost shade. So although my eye look is quite neutral, I added it right along here just for like a pop of color. It's not too much, but like it adds a little pop of something to the eye. And these are beautiful. I have them in, I wanna say 5 other shades, and they are just great. So these are obviously another product that I'm recommending. So first we have Chariot, and then we have Emerald. This is Opal. Lemon Quartz, yes, Lemon Quartz is right here. This shade is Bronzite, and then we have Lilac Quartz at the bottom. And I love just the shift in dimension of these. Highly pigmented, really long lasting. You can use them to actually use as eyeshadow or as liners, however you'd like to use them on the eyes or the face, just stunning. So wanted to add to my collection of those, and that's why I requested that shade from them. And then lastly, in terms of what I used on my face, the Natasha Denona Lip Trio. Love it. Love every bit of it. When I saw these lip products, I was like, they're gonna be way too light for me. I'm gonna put them on my face just to say that I tried them, but they're not gonna work. This lip right here has been a go-to for the past month and a half for me. Like, I cannot get enough of it. Yes, this is a nude, and I love it. It's got like a hint of pinkiness in it, but it's really like a really beautiful neutral nude, and I love it all. So the lip liner, the lip gloss, the lipstick is more of a satin formula. It's just stunning. I highly recommend it. It's so beautiful. And I know this is not gonna be everybody's cup of tea because I didn't think it was gonna be my cup of tea, but the formulation of all 3 products is truly beautiful. The lip liner is nice and creamy. I think this might be my first lip liner from the brand, if I remember correctly. And I really do like the formulation of the lip liners. It's more of a matte formula, but it's not a drying matte. It's more of like a creamy matte formula, really beautiful. Definitely love her lipsticks. I've got multiple of them, and this might be my first time trying her gloss. I really do like this gloss a lot. So I would recommend this lip combo for sure, just because I love the formulation, but that like the tone of the lip products really have done it for me as well. Okay, some other products that I didn't use on my face today that I do want to share with you that I think, you know, if you're gonna purchase from Beautylish, like these are some amazing products to purchase. First, the La Mer powder brush. First of all, any brushes that you need, this is a great time to get it, because number one, brushes are not cheap. So if I'm gonna get some brushes, I might as well get some money back from buying the brushes. Another great thing about getting brushes from Beautylish is that they carry so many Fude and so many other amazing brushes. The La Mer powder brush, oh my goodness me, this powder brush, I use almost every time I do my makeup. I love to use this brush to diffuse powder all across the face. So whether it's setting powder or if it is finishing powder, I just love how this buffs the product onto the face. It's so fluffy. It's a synthetic brush hair, so soft, so beautiful. I love this one. And I forgot to mention the powder that I use, but the Evolution powder by Danessa Myricks is stunning. I'm actually ordering another shade in 01 because I need this in my life for the whole entire face. This powder is the most lightest powder that I own in terms of just, it's literally air. Like, look, it literally floats, it dissipates in the air, and powders like this are amazing to use under the eye because they're going to be delicate enough to not weigh down the skin under the eye. So I have shade 02. It works beautifully all over my face. This shade is a little too deep for my under eye area because I did use it under the eyes, not in this video, but in another, just any other time I was doing my makeup, and I was like, dang it. Kind of took the brightness away because this is more so a shade for my entire face. So I'm getting shade 01 so I can have that to use under the eye and T-zone, and then have this to use all over the face. So I use this shade right along the perimeter of my face to blend in just the bronzer a little bit more, just to blend and set the lower part of my face. And then I went on top of this with the Charlotte Tilbury brightening powder in shade Tan Deep to brighten the area. But I love using this powder just to set the face, especially if I don't want to like really set the face and I don't want to take away the glow that I already have, but I just want to make sure the products are going to stay in place. This is a great product that will do that. And another great thing about it is that you can manipulate it to do what you want it to do. So if I really want to just like lightly set my face, I'll go in with a powder brush like the La Mer powder brush. Or if I want to really like mattify the face and just make it look poreless and just the most beautiful matte, I'll go in with a powder puff. So some amazing ones that you can find on Beautylish are going to be the ones by My Kit Co. So they come in a 2-pack like this. And where's the other one? Oh, here's the other one. It's dirty. But you can get it in a 2-pack like this. And I like that I can store them in here because that's pretty much what I do. I just keep them stored in here. The powder puffs are really soft and really beautiful. So if you took the powder puff and really pressed this powder into the skin, you can get that most beautiful matte poreless type of look with it. So such a beautiful powder. I highly recommend it. And glad I remembered to talk about it because I forgot about it. Back to brushes. So I requested some other brushes from Beautylish. Almost a lot of what I requested from them were brushes because I was like, I can't get enough of brushes. I love Sonia G brushes, and so I wanted to get more of her brushes. So I requested, in addition to the Face Pro brush, I requested the Master Face, the Classic Cheek, the soft shader, and then I requested 2 additional ones from My Kit Co. So the My Domed Multi Brush, this is the 0.13 brush, and then I've already talked about the 1.7 brush. So just to give you some quick like summaries of each brush, the Face Pro brush is a beautiful brush to apply powder products along the face. So today I used it to apply the Charlotte Tilbury brightening airbrush powder along the face. You can also use it for powder bronzer to set the entire face. Depending on what you're doing, you could also use it for blush or even a highlight, like a very versatile, beautiful type of brush. This is composed of undyed and dyed goat hairs, and it's really beautiful. Then we have the Master Face brush. This is also going to be great for your powders, bronzer, highlighter, blush. Even if you wanted to use it to, buff powder into the skin, this is really great. Also formulated with goat haired bristles, and of course, like just extremely, extremely soft. Then we have the Classic Cheek brush. So I love this one. So if you're ever not sure, the Sonia G brushes with the blue handle, these are going to be, she made these brushes for people who are not makeup artists, but they're also great for makeup artists as well, because she was like, I wanted to make brushes that were kind of like no fail, easy to use, but also easy to apply and diffuse product on the face. The brushes that she has made with her red handle, she calls them her pro brushes because they're formulated to work great for makeup artists, but they're formulated just as well enough to work for people who have never applied products. So you can buy any one of her brushes, but if you were just wondering what the difference was between the two, that's the difference. So the classic cheek brush, I love to use it to apply blush onto the face or highlight. Love the size of it, formulated with goat hairs, extremely soft and beautiful. And then the soft shader brush, I can't have enough shader brushes in my life. So I saw this, I was like, I need this shape and this brush in my life, and it works beautifully. I've used this multiple times to apply eyeshadow on the eye. I love that it also comes to almost a little bit of a pointed tip so that I can really like place the product exactly where I want it to be. So really enjoyed using this. I already talked about the My Kit Co 1.7. So the My Domed multi-brush, sorry, it is dirty because I've already used it. This is great. I like to use it for blending out concealer under the eye, or I like to use it to apply highlight onto the face, or I will also use this to blend out like a cream nose contour on my nose. This is just another beautiful multi-use brush. I actually have two. My other one is dirty, so I requested another one because I just really love how this one works on the face. This one is formulated with synthetic haired. So with the My Kit Co brushes, some of them are formulated with synthetic haired, some of them are formulated with natural hair. So you just have to read the description, especially if the hair type is of importance to you. Some other My Kit Co brushes that I love that I would highly recommend to you. I have the My Flawless Face brush. This is the 0.022 brush. I like to use this for bronzer and blush. Then I have the My Kit Co 0.8 brush. Oh, just such a beautiful overall powder brush along the face. And I love the weight of them as well. Like they're nice and not too heavy, but they have a nice weight to them. And I also like the length of the brushes as well. I have some My Kit Co eye brushes, and I don't have all of them laying out. So I have the My Precise Crease brush. This is the 1.20 brush. The My Detailing Crease brush. This is the 1.14 brush. I think I have a couple more. And then the last one I'll share is the My Flawless Face small brush. So this is the 0.21. So like I said, this is a really great time to get brushes, especially if you want to get some Fude or you want to get some, you know, of Sonia G's brushes. Wayne Goss has some really good brushes as well, but like these, oh, I have to talk about the Wayne Goss Airbrush brush. Okay, last brush recommendation, because that brush is like a holy grail brush for me, and I just have to find it. Actually, there's two more I want to talk about. Okay, look. I know I'm all over the place. Okay, the Sonia G mini cheek brush. This is beautiful. I love this to apply highlighter onto the face. It's beautiful for that. But this Wayne Goss Airbrush brush. Honey child. This is my go-to setting, like under eye setting brush. It is so soft, so gentle, but it does a really great job of like applying the perfect amount of powder. So I don't like to apply a lot of powder under my eye because I just don't want it to look weighted down and heavy. So like the bristles pick up just enough product to set my under eye area, and then I can like diffuse it out as well. Like chef's kiss on this one. All of these brushes I've recommended, I love, truly recommend to you all. They're amazing. And I mean, like I said, you really can't go wrong. So I think getting brushes is one of probably the best things to get during the Beautylish gift card event. Plus, you know that they sell out quickly, especially with Sonia G's brushes. So all of the brushes from Sonia G that I talked about today are still in stock, at least as when I'm making this video. Don't forget the Sonia G Fusion Eye brushes. They are amazing. They're still in stock. So cannot recommend enough brushes to you guys. A couple of last products I want to recommend, and then I'm wrapping this up. I know this is long, but like there's just a lot of great things that I want to talk about. Setting spray. Love this Set It Forever Mist by Danessa Myricks. This is like holy grail setting mist for me. So it can be used for any skin type. It's oil controlling, does not have oil in the formulation. And I love this setting spray because it really helps to diffuse powders onto the skin, but it also helps to bring life back into the skin. So if my face is looking dry, I will use this spray to hydrate my face, and it really helps to bring life back into the face, all the while, you know, meshing your powders together. So she has a dewy mist. So of course I had to try it. I will say that the Set It Forever Mist is sold out on Beautylish, at least when I'm making this video, but the Dewy Mist is in stock, and this is beautiful. So this is what I use today. And even though it's a dewy mist, it doesn't make the face look greasy. It doesn't have oil in it. So it's more so a hydrating type of mist. This one is going to be formulated with hyaluronic acid. So although it's going to be a dewier mist, it's also going to help to hydrate the skin as well. So this one is still in stock, and as you can see, like, my face doesn't look extra dewy or extra shiny or greasy. So I think this would be a spray that really could work for any skin type. And if you had an oilier skin but you wanted to use this maybe before you go in with your powders, or let's say you use too much of your powders, I think you could still use like a couple of sprays of this and this not make your face look too oily and greasy, because it's not a greasy or oil-based formulation. It's more so of a hydrating formulation. Okay, then I wanted to talk about Color Fix. You guys know I'm on a mission to collect every Color Fix product that Danessa has made. So I did request 3 more Color Fix products. So we have the shades Real Love right here. This is a matte shade. This is their primary yellow shade. And then this is a matte shade called Olive You. That cute Olive You. So I'll do quick swatches of them so you can see what they look like. Here we have, sorry, you can't see them too well, but here we have the shades Olive You, Primary Yellow, and then Real Love. And I think they are stunning. So all 3 of these shades, I've seen her use them on her Teach Me Tuesdays, and I'm like, I need them. And then one of her makeup artists and angels and employees, she used this shade Primary Yellow as a blush, and I'm like, yellow as a blush? Yes, I need to use that. And I have used it as a blush. It is actually really beautiful against my complexion. And then Real Love, I mean, you can use Real Love on the lips, which I have used before, on the cheeks, like on the eyes. I mean, you know, with Color Fix, you can use them any type of way. So really excited to have these added to my collection of Color Fixes. I'm almost there. I've got a few more shades to get, but I am almost there in terms of getting all of them. And then lastly, a fragrance, because why not? I love fragrance. And I remember I got a sample size of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and I was like, I need this. So this is the 10mm size that Beautylish did send me. And just to give you, you know, scents and notes and all of that, this is going to fall in the warm and spicy family, and it's going to have key notes of black cherry, tonka bean, and almond. This scent is perfect for this time of year because it's very warm. It falls into the scent type of warm and sweet gourmand. So you do get that warm and sweet, spicy type of aroma from it. It lasts all day, and every time I wear this, I just feel like I am wrapped in a warm blanket, and there's vanilla in the air, and like I'm going to really indulge in something great. That's what this reminds me of. I like to wear this during the day, but it's also, I would say, even more exquisite at night, just because it is so warm and spicy. So if it's cool outside, like, this kind of warms you up as well. Absolutely love, love, love this one. It comes in 3 different sizes, so depending on what you might like, you could get the larger size or get the smaller size, but oh, this is beautiful. This right here is so beautiful. So guys, those are my recommendations for the Beautylish gift card event. I have so many other recommendations, but this video cannot be 3 hours long. If there's any other product that you're interested in, leave your questions down below in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Let me know what you're interested in picking up, and let me know if any of the products that I've shared with you are products that you're interested in. Thank you again to Beautylish for working with me on this video and sending over some of these products. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.